You may reach out to 1,000 people on a daily basis, but if you fail to follow up, you're missing out on a solid, strong revenue.
Now, if you don't follow it up with the client, then definitely the process gets enhanced to a longer duration of time. And in that case, what happens? The overall time period in which the agreement between the customer and yourself is being signed may get delayed.
3 important things that we do at Mithaas for following up is a couple of years back when we started up Mithaas services, there was one very important learning that I received. It was following up. You know, I used to send proposals to a lot of clients in the initial years and then would just keep waiting for them to respond. Seldom would it happen that they would get back by themselves. In this duration, there were around 50 or 60 proposals that I shared over, and none of them converted as a client. That is when Mr. Manoj Sharma, he taught me the power of following up in marketing. You may reach out to 1,000 people on a daily basis, but if you fail to follow up, you're missing out on a solid, strong revenue. So in this episode of Lessons on Marketing, we are going to discuss the power of following up with Mr. Manoj Sharma. So let's get going.
Following up in the marketing process is a very important feature because it ensures both sides, that is from the customer side and from your team side also, how the quality of work is being performed to perform sales. Now, let's take an example. You have sent a mail to your team member. You want a work to be finished, right? For that, you need your team member's help. You have mailed him or her, and after that, you are performing several other works also. But what happens? The mail received by your team member may be watched or viewed late, or maybe not seen for a day or two. And whether your work is necessary, then in that case, what you will do? After 2-3 hours or 4 hours, you will give him a call that, have you seen the mail? Then you will come to know what actually the picture is. Now, what happens is, after sending the mail or giving a call, you usually perform other functions in marketing department of an organization. And in that case, what happens? In performing other functions, you forget the work which you have given it to your team member and don't follow it up. So what happens? If the work is urgent, you need to complete it as soon as it is possible, then it may not be done because the seriousness of your work may not be assessed by the receiver who is receiving the communication. Now, this is an important parameter and one needs to avoid it to have better performances, to follow it up on regular basis. Now, when you call upon him or her, then what happens? The team member gets the message that this work is very urgent and it needs to be performed on urgent basis.
Actually, that's true. I mean, following up within the team, I think it's very important to get the work done. And that is why the project management space has always been one of the most crucial parts. People often joke about it कि managers से follow up करते हैं, but following up in itself is such a big task. But having said that, what exactly is the importance of following up from the client's end? So let's say I'm a content writer. I want to, work with a certain client. How do you suggest that this person goes ahead with following up and the importance of following up with the client?
Okay, let's understand this in this way. Suppose a client approaches you for a certain work. Say, for example, book publishing. So for book publishing, what are the prerequisites from our end, the service industry end, that is from our Mithaas services end, that what is the kind of script is there, how many words are there in a script, and how, in what mode it is mentioned in the script itself. how it is arranged, that is the page setting of the script. If it is not having page setting, you need to get it done also. So first of all, your discussion, the preliminary discussion of a work is the most important feature, in which you will clarify everything with the customer. What is the customer looking for? That is what is an important aspect. After getting it clarified, then what you will do, you will note down the certain features which the client wants. After that, you will start working. Now, suppose while reading the script, you have got certain queries, that there are certain matters which may not be required in the script, or it needs to be edited. So for that purpose, you will get the guidance from your editorial team that how it can be done. After getting the corrections done in the track mode, of course, the same is being sent to the customer for customer approval. Now, this is where a very important feature lies. There are certain customers which may not be viewing their mails regularly. So in that case, if you don't give him or her a call, then your mail will be left unseen for 3-4 days. And in case of publishing, it is a long period. So wait for a day, then call him up or call her up and inform that you have sent a mail suggesting the changes in the track mode fashion. In that way, the customer will view the mail, view the track changes which you have suggested, and can revert back. Now, if you don't follow it up with the client, then definitely the process gets enhanced to a longer duration of time. And in that case, what happens? The overall time period in which the agreement between the customer and yourself is being signed may get delayed. Ultimately, what will happen? The book publishing process gets delayed, and ultimately the book for the launch will be delayed. And not only that, your payment will also be delayed. So everybody is working for the payment. Remember, follow it up with your client and smoothen the process of finishing off the job.
That's actually quite true. In fact, three important things that we do at Mithaas for following up is, number one, we have a small little group in WhatsApp where we actually just send in the information to the client. It's always a client friendly option to follow up. Another thing that we often do at Mithaas, like you were mentioning, was that in the book publishing industry, we often try to loop in the writer from stage one, where we are editing or we are designing something. And the third thing, of course, is having weekly status calls or weekly status emails. That definitely helps us with it. Acha, one more thing that I was asking you was that, you mentioned prior to the shoot that even in the academic writing segment in the pharmaceutical industry where you spent a lot of time, there were a lot of content writers and designers who you worked with. So how do you guys kind of, follow up in that segment? Let's discuss about that and have a stroll.
When the content writer sends the content for the approval to the client, what happens is that there are so many works for a pharma manager in the marketing team to be done, that he is monitoring the salespeople also. He is designing the material also inside the department itself. If it is in-house art department is there in the company, then he needs to report to his bosses also regarding the work performances which the task has been received from their side, and so on. So what happens? Content is the key for the promotion of pharma business. And when the content writer sends the message to the client for the approval, then he needs to follow it up with the client that, have you seen, sir, regarding the same? Because otherwise, what will happen? The importance of the content, because in case of pharma industry, there is a particular period cycle of the various organizations in which it can be done. The promotional material may be changed every 3 weeks, every 3 months or every 4 months. So and so on, every 2 months. So the designing of the material is an important aspect which needs to be done on time. So for that to happen, then content has to be approved first. Then similarly, according to that, you explain it to the art department that how the creative visuals are being designed. Accordingly, the art department will design the creative for the same. And so on, the process of designing of either visual aid, brochures, or literatures is finalized. Viewing the importance of the promotional material, because the medical representatives, they promote their products with the help of either visual aid, whether it is the hard copy or in nowadays the soft copy in the form of iPads and tablets and so on. Because in many of the organizations, they are promoting the product on the tablets or iPads, whatever it is. iPads are very rare, but yes, the tablets are seen that they are being utilized. In case of soft copy, what is the benefit? You have to just send him or her the mail, and the promotional material is there with the representative, and they can change it every 3 months or so on, whatever may be the cycle of the organization. Accordingly, what happens is that in case of pharma promotions, the medical studies of various scientific journals are also being highlighted. That helps the clients to be updated on regular basis, because there are so many clients which updates themselves on regular basis, and there are certain clients which needs the help in the form of this type of promotion. So they will have a very good view of your promotional material, and simultaneously the brand is being also registered in the mind of the customer, that is the doctor. Ultimately, what will happen? The doctor will write your product. That means the prescription will be written, and then accordingly the sales of your product can be done in this way. So effective content writing, follow it up with the client, get the matter approved, and then accordingly design the artworks of creatives, and then print it or send the hard copy or soft copy to the various representatives for the promotion to the doctors, and enhance your business. So following it up is the key everywhere. I'll tell you one more example. See yourself also, or take your own example. In normal day life functions also, whatever we do it with the help of follow. Like say for example, you are booking a ticket. You are asking an agent to book your ticket. After a certain time, you give him or her a call. What about my ticket? You ask the status. What is this? Following it up. If you don't do it, there are so many tickets to be booked from the travel agent point. He may or she may skip the ticketing. What will happen? You will have trouble in traveling. Avoiding trouble, you learn it yourself to do the follow it up. Same goes for all the business processes, and in all the industries. Whatever you do it with the help of following up, and that gives you a tremendous result in your performances, whether it is live or whether it is normal business procedure. Everywhere, following up is the key.
This was indeed quite informative and insightful. Well, if you liked the video, do not forget to subscribe to our channel and press the like button. Also, comment in the comment section about what exactly you want to know in lessons on marketing. That's about it for today. Subscribe.